What's up, guys?
Hey, what's
How
up,
you doing,
brother?
Frank?
Just another busy day.
Yeah.
I know,
You're
yeah.
busy making some tamales for the community.
Tamales and tortillas.
Burritos.
Seeing who will try all the different hot sauces along the wall.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Tucson Tamale.
Well, like you know, we've been around since 2008. We just celebrated our 15th year back in November
Nice.
as a company. Everything is made here in Southern Arizona and shipped all over the country.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And we have the restaurant up on Oroconina.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, about shipping it all over the United States. I believe they're in Costco's, right?
No, not Costco.
Not Costco.
As of yet, we are in Target, Whole Foods, stuff like that.
Okay.
Mm,
All right.
mhm.
You can go on our website and go to Goldbelly, and you can have it shipped to your front door.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know that.
Yep, all over the country.
Very good.
Yeah, and another interesting thing, I mean, outside the shipping to us part, and we were talking about it before the show with our other guest, Mr. James Piper, about how growing up or even lately, I always thought you have to find someone around Christmas time to get some tamales or get,
Usually the lady standing outside the grocery
yeah,
store.
exactly, yeah, or tortillas, or or even though I've known of Tucson Tamale Company for years, I always feel like, okay, if you just go there and you grab what you need, like a grocery store, and you take off, but it's actually a restaurant.
It
and you
is.
can sit down and eat. We've got the pleasure, you and I, a couple times of taking in the delicious food there. But tell us more about, give us a mental virtual tour, Frank, of the Tucson Tamale Company, the location and what those hours are of operation over there.
Well, first of all, when you walk in the door, like I've said before, it screams Tucson.
Yeah.
The colors, everything about it, the feel, the friendliness. When you first walk in the door, you're kind of first thing you see is hot sauce all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
We, like I said, we have 350 different hot sauces you can try and
Yeah.
buy whatever you like.
It's paradise.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If you like heat, yeah, that's the place to come. The restaurant is welcoming with the staff that we have. I think that on certain days, you can see us making fresh tortillas as you're waiting to get your food or order.
Mm-hmm.
We do get fresh samples of fresh tortillas.
Yeah.
So that's how we hook you.
I know anytime that I've ever walked in there, the staff, no matter who is in there, is welcoming and friendly, and they're just it's like you're in there every day. I mean, it's almost like oh, welcome back.
Yeah.
Well, as any business, it's about the staff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could be a big owner, you could be a big manager, but if you don't have the staff to take care of the customers,
Yeah.
you really don't have the business,
Mhm.
right? Because the staff is what keeps the customers coming back.
Right.
Yeah, and I want to think realistically that trickles from the top down, because I mean, I know when I came in there, well before I knew you through Ron, I never knew you were Frank, one of the owners of the place. You're just another friendly staff member there that when I came in, you made me feel like I was home. So I appreciate that.
Well, the only thing difference between me and them is I wear a different shirt. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Mm-hmm.
I wear a different shirt, and I should do the same things they do.
Mm-hmm.
If you feel welcome with me, you should feel welcome with them, and vice versa. So
Mm-hmm.
I try to instill my personality in the staff and have them, the shift leaders, managers, whatever, kind of mimic me, make a bunch of little mini-me's,
Right.
little minions all over the place. So if we're all on the same page, then we'll all get to the same place together.
For sure.
That's right. That's right. And you're venturing into catering now.
Well, yes. So we're starting another catering business out of Tucson Tamale. It's called La Movida Catering
Okay.
Company.
Nice.
It should be off the ground here soon. We're just buttoning up the last few things we got to do. But we're going to have a different take on caterings other than the Tucson Tamale kind of catering.
Okay.
So we're basically opening up what we're doing. We're going to do a lot of different Southwest flavors.
Right.
Some some we're making up as we go.
Very nice. Yeah.
We're going to do fusion. And one of the cool things that I think we're going to bring to that is we're going to do a churro cheesecake.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
That's going to
sounds
be
very good.
Well, when I see you guys, I'll make sure you have some. So that's what we're going to do. And I think we're going to try and push desserts as well, which we don't push with Tucson Tamale.
Mhm.
Even though we have good desserts, we have flan we can do for stuff. I think that we're going to push the envelope with this.
Mm.
You know, it's
Okay.
going to be like what my mom used to cook 50 years ago when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So we're going to bring back some old Southern Arizona, Tucson, South Tucson flavors
Nice.
to the mix.
That's awesome.
Very good. And you guys should be up and running right in time for the holiday season, right?
Oh, I'm hoping to be running in the next 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just
ambitious, man.
Yeah.
Ambitious. We have influential, ambitious people on this
That's
show.
right.
Ron.
Well, time is money.
yeah, absolutely.
well, yeah. I mean, if you're not making money, then you got to find something else to do. You know? Even when you're sleeping, you should be making money.
That's right. Tell us a little bit more about your wall of hot sauce.
Wow. So we have, like I said, 350 different hot sauces. We have a lot from Tucson.
Mm.
We have some from Phoenix. We have some from Prescott, Flagstaff. Of course, we got some from New York, all over Texas.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
We have this really good one called Napa. It's from Napa Valley.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's really, really good.
Mhm.
We have
Now, the-
Chef Alan Zeman spices, which I've given you before.
Okay. The one from Napa, do they grow any of the chilies or anything there?
Not sure.
Okay.
I know they make it there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And speaking of hot sauce, we do our own hot sauce, Tucson Tamale. And I'm actually going to venture into doing a couple different flavors of hot sauce.
Very nice.
We're going to make in-house, small batch.
Interesting. I'm going to use the language wrong, but I'm going to try to act like I know what I'm talking about. Is there like, do you have like the top Scoville level or whatever the ranking of the hotness is?
Yes, absolutely. When you come in, if you look on our freezer, we have the Scoville units right on the wall.
Mhm.
So you can tell what the hottest pepper it is down to the mildest pepper.
Interesting.
And on the bottles, it'll tell you as well. Some of them will tell you, ghost pepper, all those are going to be really, really hot, or a jalapeno is not going to be so hot.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you can ask any one of our guys and they can point you on your flavor preferences,
Mm-hmm.
or they can recommend what they like. We do have signs that say, this is Ariel's favorite, this is Elaine's favorite,
yeah.
Mhm.
Ron, let's get Ron's name up there and say, this is Ron's favorite.
Well, I was thinking it'd be cool to do maybe a competition or something one day around the hot sauce. So
Actually,
I don't know,
yeah,
maybe we
we've,
see
we've
some
done
kind
that.
of
I think on
tasting
that.
or
Mhm.
yeah.
because I know we were wanting to do like a supporter appreciation event there
Mhm.
coming up soon. So maybe
So
we work something in there.
We have done a couple of hot and spicy challenges in the store
Mm.
Okay.
Mhm.
where you get timed and you eat so much stuff,
Yeah.
and you win like shirt, gift cards, stuff like that.
Mhm.
We really didn't do it last year, but this year we're going to do it again. Probably, I think it's October.
Okay.
Okay,
Hot and
Yeah,
spicy
very
challenge
nice.
day, and we're going to come up with something crazy.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. And Tucson Tamale is not just tamales. You have a lot of other things that you.
We got quesadillas, we
Yeah.
have burritos, and a whole line of catering that we do
Mm.
all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So you need a catering, like I said, from 10 people to 1,000 people, we'll do it for you.
Yeah.
Very nice. And how do they get a hold of you? And where's the shop at?
The shop is up on Oracle and Ina, up by Tap and Bottle,
Okay.
just in case you want to get a cold drink. We'll bring some food over for you as well. And we're at TucsonTamale.com.
TucsonTamale.com. And so you're
Awesome.
on the northeast corner of Ina and Oracle.
Correct.
Yeah. Very nice.
Great. Well,
Mhm.
thank you for being with us, Frank.
Thank you for having me.
And we'd like to thank our sponsors, Tucson Pack and Ship, Crest Insurance, Tucson Tamale, and Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. Pastor John, I believe that you always like to talk a little bit about
Yeah.
your passion of
For
Veteran
sure.
Rescue Mission.
Well, I mean, it's just for me, it's always a thanking you and a thanking of all the supporters, all the people that have worked with us to locate and connect veterans with housing. I mean, because whether it's the guys next door, the Common Good radio show, now Common Good television show,
Yeah.
it all goes back to us locating and connecting homeless veterans with housing. So for you who want to support that effort, which is kind of the backbone of what we do, what I do, go to veteranrescuemission.org. You'll find information about the radio shows, but you'll also find out ways you can donate to Veteran Rescue Mission, the work we've done for the past 15 years, locating and connecting over 600 veterans with housing, and just, other cool stuff that we're doing that you can connect in with. But we'll have all that and more after the break. But remember, at the end of every day, it's night.
And we're back with the guys next door. We have another fantastic guest with us today. First time with us, James Piper from Piper Family Painting.
Hey guys, thank you for having me today.
Yeah, thank you for being on with us. There you go.
Awesome.
You're good? Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Piper Family Painting?
So we are your local painting contractors here in Tucson. We are licensed for both commercial and for residential. We could.
There you go.
We do really big projects. We do really small projects.
Okay.
Specialize in cabinet refinishing.
Oh,
I have a pretty
okay.
good process for that is really cost effective for potential clients that want to make a big impact in their home and not spend a lot of money
Yeah.
refinishing all their cabinets or
Mhm.
changing their cabinets out. Rather.
Yeah,
Nice.
we did that 3 years ago when we were selling one of our rental houses. We had the cabinets refinished, and it completely changed the kitchen.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it updated everything.
Yeah, and the average cost here in Tucson right now is like $20,000
for new cabinets.
for brand new cabinets.
Wow.
To change them out completely.
Mhm.
Our process is a fraction of that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And the way we're doing it now is so effective in terms of its process. 5 years ago, you would have to remove the cabinet door from the location
Mhm.
and then paint one side and flip it over and paint the other side and
Ah.
flip it back. And
That's
with
what they did.
Yeah, that's right. With my process, which is 2 prime coats and a top coat, that can be it's a lot of movement within a process to make it cost effective.
Yeah.
Now we're using this process from Paintline, and it's basically a mobile spray booth with a Lazy Susan in the middle of it, and a really cool way to hook the cabinets to a hanging system. So it's not invasive. It doesn't put any holes in it,
Mm.
but it does absolutely allow me to hang it. So I can spray both sides of a cabinet in 2 seconds and then hang it in a drying rack where it could be dry within the next hour for me to come back and do the process again. So I could do 100 cabinet doors or faces in less than a week
Wow.
inside.
Nice.
And it gives you a factory level finish.
Right.
Yeah, I think Frank heard me ask this question last week when I had him on my show, but it's one of my favorite questions to ask because I'm a huge superhero nerd, huge superhero nerd. And every in superhero stories, the villain has his origin story, and usually the superhero has his origin story, and usually with us as adults, we have our origin story of why we got into what we did. And, you getting into painting, even hearing how passionate you are talking about this process, I would love to hear that origin story. And as I've met with you, I know you. So, I know that's not a Tucson accent that you got. So tell us a little bit about that part of it and, what brought you to Tucson and what you got you into painting in the first place.
Well, spot on about my accent. I'm from Chicago. I lived there 45 years of my life. I've been painting since I was 15 years old, so roughly 36 years.
Okay.
And I'm a third generation guy. Both my father and grandfather painted the city of Chicago.
Oh, wow.
My entire life as a kid. The Merchandise Mart, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but my family painted all of the renovations that happened in the Merchandise Mart downtown Chicago. And it was really awesome to have that be part of my experience. And as a kid, it didn't feel like that when you were going
Right.
to work,
Yeah.
with your
So
family.
was that always your summer job?
That was my summer job always. And I was always doing it. And if I wasn't doing it, I was cleaning tools or I was preparing for the next day so that, it can get done.
Right.
So I grew up doing it my whole life, and I'm still doing it. I left for a short period of time as I was trying to just find myself in other areas, and it turns out that I'm actually a painter, and it's what I do, and I'm really good at it. And with 36 years of experience, I could, put together a process for any challenge that's in front of me. In terms of being here in Tucson, that's a kind of an odd situation for us. I was living in Florida prior to us moving here 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I went from Chicago to an island in Florida, and I was running our painting business there, and it was very successful. But COVID, it forced me to kind of redefine what was important to us. And staying in Florida just wasn't going to work anymore, and I was not going to go back to the cold.
Okay.
I grew up my whole life with sub-degree temperatures, and I just wasn't doing it. I love this Tucson heat, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But we, what's more important to us is my wife and I, my wife owns and runs the business with us. My mother-in-law is also, a member and an owner of the company. It's truly family-owned
That's
and
cool.
operated.
Yeah.
And my little boy, he has special needs, and for us, it was really important that we find a community, and we found it here in Tucson, that allowed us to take part in all the special need things that are here for families and parents, and my son has thrived here in 3 years in Tucson, just
Oh,
you know,
fantastic.
in Rollito School and now in Nash Elementary School, just with these special needs programs that they had, and that's allowed us, all right, my wife and I, to thrive in this community, and it's been glorious for us. And that origin story, it starts in Chicago, but it hasn't ended yet.
Right.
You know, we've only been here for 3 years now, and we're excited about the things that we can do for the local Tucson community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just the climate is so different. You probably, I'm sure that you couldn't paint exterior like certain parts of the year in Chicago, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So there's no work for a painter in Chicago from November until May.
Oh, wow.
Now,
That's a long time.
if you're a really big company and you have a lot of clients and you've been around for a long time, then you can weather the storm, right?
Right.
But for my wife and I, when we started, it was really hard.
Yeah.
And here we came into the winter, and you know, with a little boy with special needs, that wasn't going to work for us. It just wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So-
And you can work here all year long.
all year round.
Yeah.
I've had a few local people ask me if I can work in the middle of summer here, and I'm like, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just start earlier.
You
Yeah.
start earlier, and I got a couple tricks up my sleeve that gets us through it. You stay hydrated, and you have a good team, and you can do it.
Yeah, definitely.
And definitely, I mean, you and I feel like we've known of each other. We've known each other for about a year. Kind of, we've been in the same circles.
Yeah.
And I see it. I mean, I'm sure you know it, but I'll continue to give it to you. You're a beloved character.
Oh, thank you.
You and your wife. You're both very beloved in the community, and it seems like you've gained a lot of trust from the community in a lot of different ways. What would you account that to?
The connections that we make. They're great people like Ron and yourself, and you know, when you surround yourself with good people, that tends to take on a snowball effect. And since we've been here, and to be quite honest, since we met Stacy Fowler, she
Right.
started me in this whole process with networking, and then we became members of the Chamber of Commerce in Oro Valley and Marana. And because that's important to us, Pastor, we want to connect with the community, not just by a monetary value, but I want to remember what color we painted your son's room 10 years ago. Okay, that's important to us.
Right.
That's why our clients usually come back to us, because of those type of things. You know, because they feel like they were taken care of.
Right.
That narrative starts the moment I have first contact with you, you know. And I try to be as honest as I can with who I am as a person, and I'm really passionate about the things that I do. We just recently became ambassadors for Make-A-Wish Foundation, and having a little boy
wonderful.
with special needs, really, that was a wonderful thing for us to have an opportunity to become ambassadors for us.
Yeah.
So a lot of things, us being here, God, you know, the universe, great people. And you know, I don't look it in the mouth. I take I take it full of heart, and I want to be part of this community.
Right.
It's been
Right.
wonderful.
And you have really just jumped into the community and
Yeah.
put yourself out there.
And we just bought a house, so
Yeah.
that's we officially
Yeah, you're here now.
we're here now.
Yeah.
That's it. We
Yeah.
just
You're a
bought house.
Marana resident now.
Marana residents.
Yeah.
Yep.
One of my neighbors.
Yeah,
Yep.
we're border
Yeah.
Ivor Valley a little bit, so we're in the country. So
Okay.
I'm really excited about
Yeah,
that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
We're all kind of on the same side of town.
Mhm.
Awesome.
All of us.
Awesome.
So yeah, very good. So we're talking a little bit about networking, or we're talking a lot about networking, but I was just going to ask those relationships that you've built. Like you were saying, they're not just business relationships, but they're almost partnerships with
Yeah.
a lot of the people.
The friendships.
They're friendships, yeah.
So, you know, anybody can go to a networking event and meet a couple of people and pass out a couple of cards.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that. And I'm not trying to diminish any aspect of this. But in order to really know if the person that you're referring to the people that you care about, then you need to have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
All right. You need to have them do some work in your house. We just had Picture Rock into our house, right? Ron's a great guy. Me and him had great conversations, but we had his company in to do some inspection on our AC, and now we get the chance to really experience that in a much different way, right? These are the type of things that I attribute that to. Those
Right.
friendship connections that go more than just I see you once every couple Wednesdays.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, I have one professional networking goal, and that's to only have 3 conversations, 3 meaningful conversations.
Oh, okay.
You could talk to 10 people, you know, at a 50-person event.
Oh, yeah.
3 meaningful conversations. If I could walk away with that, then I think I hit my mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there is the atmosphere in Chicago with networking and stuff like that, is that kind of the same? Or because
Yeah.
I've heard that, you know, different cities,
It's
they're
a-
not quite like Tucson. Like Tucson's pretty much a handshake kind of town. You know, you build those relationships and you gain that trust.
Mm.
And that's
Mhm.
kind of how you do business
That's a
here.
good
but
question.
a lot
Yeah.
of cities aren't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in Chicago, you know, it's a city of broad shoulders, and you know, our handshake and a word meant a lot to us. Networking is still a real thing there in Chicago, and,
Okay.
and to be honest with you, I found the Chamber of Commerce for the first time as a young boy in my local neighborhood in Chicago.
Oh.
And you know, it was funny that I never knew that it was going to mean something to me as I got into my late 30s and 40s, but
Yeah.
it sure enough did, and it always stuck into my head. This Chamber of Commerce,
Mhm.
right? And then I'm like, this is prestigious. This is where businesses go.
Mhm.
And even as a kid, I think it's had a big impact on even my networking today.
Mm.
Okay. Very good. Yeah.
Mm.
You just build that history.
Build that history. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we all definitely need to get together and go to Tucson Tamale and have some tamales.
I'm going for
together.
supper tonight.
No.
Come on, we'll make you whatever you want.
You got it.
Yeah, definitely. So you talked about the cabinets that you resurface. What other services do you provide?
So in addition to all the, you know, garden variety painting services that I can
Mhm.
do for you, we also have a program called Painter for a Day. All right, it's a program for small projects. A lot of clients they don't want you to give them a bid to paint their entire house. They just want to paint the baseboards that the dog scratched up.
Okay.
All right, that the rest of the house is good. A lot of big companies are going to come in there and try to sell you on everything.
Mhm.
With our Painter for a Day program, you get the services of a qualified painter. This is for one rate. You get a qualified painter, licensed, bonded, insured, plus a consultation, and 8 hours worth of work.
Mm.
You
Fantastic.
can get a lot done. There's no obligation to do anything more than whatever the project may be.
Right.
And our
Mm.
Painter for a Day has been pretty successful for a lot of people who just want, you know, a few doors in their house painted.
Yeah.
You know,
So how
or
do
have it
people
as
get
a-
a hold of you?
They can reach me at my website at www.piperfamilypainting.com. We're also on Facebook and Twitter, Piper Family Painting. I'm sorry, Facebook and Instagram, rather.
Oh, okay.
And my email address is james@piperfamilypainting.com if you have any questions.
All right. Well, thank you, James, and thank you, Frank. We had
Thank
another
you.
fantastic
Thank you.
show, The Guys Next Door.
Yeah, and this was the Guys Next Door, brought to you by Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. I got to do another show with the coolest guy in Tucson, Mr. Ron Arenas. I'm Pastor John McClain of Veteran Rescue Mission.